Welcome to the shit show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery. Cause everybody's such, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of clots. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, what the fuck? And then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balderdash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery.
Hello, everyone. Oh, hello, Miss Frosty. How are you, gorgeous? Mwah. So glad you're here. I'm not gonna lie, a couple of times I forgot I had a live stream tonight. I got distracted by talking to people, and they're like, "Hey, good luck on your live stream," and I was like, "Oh fuck, I have a live stream. That's right." Hello, Daniel. Welcome, darling. Yo, for it, probably. I'm sitting there like wondering if there's any more like I don't know. This stuff I got is like from the other day, so hopefully like it's not too crazy, but I don't know. We'll get through it as quick as we can and then see what stuff has happened today. So let's share. Boop. All right. Okay. Hide a little share thing. All right, so Haley sends a cease and desist to Haley Voters for Harris group. I don't know who's doing that, but that's fucking hilarious. Former Republican presidential candidate is calling out a group supporting Vice President Harris for use of for the ex-UN ambassador's name. Oh, I mean, if they were Haley voters, then I don't know there's much you can really do about that. A project paid for by pro-Harris Pivot PAC purports to encourage voters across the political spectrum, and Haley voters in particular, to vote for Kamala Harris in November. And apparently that's got little Nikki Haley all worked up, which I personally think is funny. She's getting trolled, and I think it's great. She needs it. She needs to be trolled because she's kind of an asshole. Let's see. All right. I don't know why it's kind of blurry. But headline: I am the youngest Jewish member of Congress, and here's why I'm not attending Netanyahu's address. Very good. Glad to hear it. It's off to a good start. Let's see. It's never easy being Jewish in today's world. All right, side note, I think it's probably easier now than it probably was a long time ago. But anyway, the past 10 months have been especially excruciating. Like millions of Jews around the world, I'm grappling with the aftermath of Hamas' attack on October 7th and the sharp rise in anti-Semitism that I've seen since. But I also have been deeply alarmed by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's brutal, unrelenting military operation that has reportedly left more than 39,000 Palestinians dead. This response hasn't been proportional, strategic, or effective, and I can't in good conscience condone it by attending. Good for him. Good for him. I'm proud of him, but I guess we'll find out who that is because I actually don't know who that is at the moment. I'm deeply connected with my Jewish roots and to Israel. As a child, my summers were split between visiting family in Tel Aviv and helping host my Israeli cousin in San Diego and going to camp together at the Jewish Community Center. I have traveled from the northernmost to the southernmost parts of Israel, prayed at the Western Wall, spent time in Bedouin family. I can't pronounce some of that. Anyway, but yeah, he's basically giving like his, I guess his Jewish credentials, I guess. I've traveled to Israel twice on official visits. During the first, I met then Prime Minister Naftali Bennett. Naftali Bennett's he's a little bit of a nutcase himself, by the way. And during the second time, I met with Prime Minister Netanyahu after he regained power. Anyway, so yeah, it doesn't really seem to tell who wrote this. So that's kind of odd. I don't know which member of Congress wrote this. Not seeing it, but good for them for saying what they said. Oh, I'm sorry. There it is. A story by Representative Sarah Jacobs. There we go. Okay. Well, good for her for having a conscience and taking a stand. Good luck calling her anti-Semitic. Netanyahu calls out Democrat critics and protesters in speech to Congress. Lays out Hamas threats. Ugh, God. And AOC, she kind of blew the lid off it a little bit because she said that it looks like it's got a full room and a full standing ovation, but actually a lot of them decided not to show up. So they basically use seat fillers like they do at award ceremonies when, certain people aren't there. So they put extras in those seats so it looks full. So apparently they did that, which I find hilarious. Anywho, Washington. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed a joint meeting of Congress as his nation continues to battle Hamas in Gaza, laying out the ongoing threats in the region and criticizing his Democrat critics in Washington and pro-Palestinian protesters. And well, fuck off, you old bastard. The Israeli leader told lawmakers, "My friends, I come to assure you today of one thing: we will win." But he added that in the face of ongoing clashes with Hamas and conflict with Iran and Iran-backed groups, for the forces of civilization to triumph, America and Israel must stand together. Dude, they've been standing with you. They've been giving you shit tons of weapons, shit tons of money. And we apparently been sending our soldiers over there to help you kill people. So, I mean, I don't know what else he wants. He's got everything. He owns Washington, D.C. So I don't know how much more anyone can help him. Netanyahu also hit back at his Democrat critics in Congress and at protests that have broken out across the country over Israel's handling of the conflict. He had especially harsh words for demonstrators, calling them Iran's useful idiots. Well, it was Hamas's idiots. Now it's Iran's? Okay. And accusing them of standing with evil. And no, I don't think so. He also made one of his most decisive remarks when he said that those who support pro-Palestinian protesters should be ashamed of themselves. Well, you can suck a fat dick, Netanyahu. At least we're not known for killing a bunch of people, fucker. Some Republicans threatened lawsuit to keep Biden on the ballot. See, this is absolute fucking silly, I don't know what. Because they were like, the Republicans were telling Democrats and Kamala Harris that she needs to go with the 25th Amendment to try to basically say that the president is incapacitated and for her to take over. And now they're suing to keep Can nobody decide what the fuck they want to do? Holy shit. Ugh. Allies of former President Donald Trump have floated the possibility of legal challenges to keep the President Biden on the top of the Democratic ticket, even though he has ended his campaign. But election law experts believe that it's unlikely such court fights aimed at blocking President Kamala Harris will gain traction. I find it unlikely too, because one, if the guy is just fucked up and incapacitated and can't, then forcing him to do it is weird. It's very Weekend at Bernie's. And I think that guy's had enough of that. But, and again, they were like a week or two ago, they was like, hey, you need to declare the 25th Amendment because he's all fucked up. And, like, so yeah, you can't make them happy. You can't make anyone happy, I guess. God, I wish I knew where this was going to be. I wish I had some clues of where it was going to be. So I could vandalize. It's probably at the governor's mansion, probably a couple of places in Edmond. Because the governor's mansion, he also has like a place up in Edmond. It's a fancy gated area. So that's probably where he's at. But yeah. And Governor Stitt and Ryan Walters are just absolutely circle jerking each other right now in excitement of seeing fucking Vance. Oh my God. Ugh. They won't even need to install Grindr on their phone. They can just do each other. In blackout Gaza, Elon Musk Starlink opens an internet bubble. He should have done that ages ago. Elon Musk said that his Starlink satellite internet service is now operating in a hospital in Gaza following months of negotiation over humanitarian exceptions to an internet blackout Israel imposed across the... Yeah. because they were getting caught doing war crimes. They were caught doing bad shit. So of course they're going to block out the internet. Innocent people don't do that. The good guys don't need to do that. That's why we know they're not good guys. Musk wrote on X on Tuesday that Starlink was now active as there was support of Israel and the United Arab Emirates, which has been involved in negotiation to mitigate the effects of the Israeli-Gaza war. While the provisions of the internet service for a single hospital is a breakthrough, its limited impact reflects the Israeli government's reluctance for residents of Gaza to have internet access more broadly, lest it be used by the Hamas in the war. The internet being used by Hamas. Okay. Why? Are you afraid that Hamas is going to check their Facebook messages? Come the fuck on. No, you're afraid it's going to make your enemies look bad because you're committing war crimes. That's honestly what it is. They claim anything that might help people in Gaza it's Hamas. Like, oh my God. Ugh. And I really hate Elon Musk for not having done something sooner. I really do. It's time to rethink U.S.-Israel special relationship. I agree. Should have rethought it 40, 50 years ago. As Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu faces a joint session of Congress, Washington must face reality. Its empathetic embrace of Israel's war in Gaza is not advancing U.S. interests or promoting regional stability, to say nothing of the immense human toll. Yeah. In fact, it is doing the opposite. So long as Washington refuses to change course, the U.S. will continue to confront major problems that are the product of its own policies. Indeed. Netanyahu remains wedded to the idea that Israel's army can achieve its goal by eradicating Hamas in Gaza, but as IDF spokesman Daniel Hagari recently admitted, anyone who thinks that we can eliminate Hamas is wrong. In the military realm, the group maintains operational capacity and continues to fight in areas of Gaza where Israel previously claimed Hamas had been eliminated. Yeah, funny how that works. U.S. intelligence estimates that only 30 to 35% of Hamas military wing have been killed since October 7th. And it's funny because of all the people, we're probably up at like 60 or 70,000 people dead, probably more because they decided they don't want to put out the death tolls anymore. In fact, our government actually put up a little thing saying they weren't going to disclose the number of dead people there anymore, which is a weird thing to do. You know, it's not weird, I guess, if you're, an accessory to genocide, but, Anyway, so all these people, they're like, yeah, we killed like 40,000, but they were Hamas. Yet 30 to 35% they're claiming was only Hamas, which means, 75% of them were innocent people. Yeah, that's lovely. And that's even if this is correct at all. While claiming it's recruited thousands of new volunteers over the course of the war. Oh, so now they're claiming they're recruiting. It probably isn't hard to recruit because if I was there and you just bombed my fucking house, killed my kid, killed my parents, best believe I'm going to shoot one of you motherfuckers the first chance I get. So yeah, they probably don't have to recruit that hard. Bet on it. Yeah, you killed my family, and guess what, buddy? I'll shoot any and any one of y'all I find. I don't blame them. So I bet recruiting's high because there's not much else to do there. I mean, it's a limit how many times you can be bombed into a corner and have your family killed before you just kind of lose your fucking shit. So, But yeah, they're claiming while recruiting, thousands new to help excuse themselves killing more people. Like, well, they were going to be Hamas. You know what I mean? Such fucking shit. Boy, if anyone, the king of I brought it on my fucking self, it's them. God damn. Fucking Ryan Walters. Mighty. So apparently Ryan Walters, I don't know why it's not letting me click on this. So let me see if I can refresh it and that will help. But he's put out new guidelines for teaching the Bible in school. Well, teaching from the Bible for historical purpose has already been legal in Oklahoma for a very long time. So I'm wondering just how far he actually wants to take it. So let me see. Can I can't do much with this. I can't. Okay, I thought I'd be able to make it to where it could be easily read, but captions. Oh, I'll just skip this part because it's hard to read. So, Germany's gonna German, I guess. Germany shuts down Islamic Center in Hamburg. They've been wanting to do that for a while, let's be honest. Germany loves to just decide they dislike a particular religion and they just go balls deep with it. Anyway, German Interior Minister Nancy Faeser said on Wednesday that the Islamic Center in Hamburg would be banned from propagating extremism, and that the famous Blue Mosque was being searched by police. Propagating extremism. Well, who decides what's extreme? Germany doesn't have a very good track record of that, but okay. It's very important to me to make a clear distinction here. We are not acting against the religion. Of course not. Sure, sweetie. Sure, Jan. Faeser said, but just against a group accused of militantly undermining the German state as well as women's rights. Okay. Militantly undermining the German state. I wonder what they mean by militantly undermining. Boy, the way that sounds, that just rubs me funny. The Imam Ali Mosque, I guess, known locally as the Blue Mosque, is one of the Germany's oldest mosques. It is operated by IZH, an organization that is considered an extension of the Iranian regime in Germany, and is thought to have a large influence over certain mosques and associations, according to the German Domestic Intelligence Service. Okay. I feel like if they were an extension of the Iranian regime, then they would have done something years ago, I feel like. But I feel like they're just giving us an excuse, so let's go. The Interior Ministry statement on Wednesday said that the Blue Mosque has ties to the government of Iran, and its activities were aimed at spreading Iranian revolutionary ideas. I'm curious an example of these revolutionary ideas. The Interior Minister last year said that IZH was suspected of acting against constitutional order and supporting the terror organization Hezbollah. Oh, okay. In 2020, Germany designated Hezbollah as a terrorist organization and banned its activities on German soil. So I'm wondering, do they actually have any proof that anybody there has anything to do with Iran or Hezbollah? Because if you're coming into a country and you have connections to Hezbollah, you get in trouble anyway. I feel like they're just making up excuses to attack this mosque. Affiliated institutions in the federal states of Bremen, Bavaria, Mecklenburg, Western Pomerania, Lower Saxony, North Rhine-Westphalia, and Berlin were also being investigated. A total of 53 properties were being searched. Like I said, Germany's going to German, I guess. And IZH is also being pro for spreading aggressive anti-Semitism. Do you realize that like 6 months ago, they were considering anti-Semitic to say that the Jews had killed Jesus, even though it's in the Bible. Apparently saying that was anti-Semitic. So I feel like their definition of the anti-Semitism, I feel like it could go either way. You know, I feel like it's got a lot of like spin in that wheel. Like, you know? So I feel like that's a lot of shit. But yeah, they're basically being investigated for spreading aggressive anti-Semitism. I feel like aggressive anti-Semitism would be calling for Jews to be killed. I feel like if they had done that, I feel like they would be blasting those pictures everywhere of the screenshots of their pamphlets or their Facebook post if they had done that, if they had been calling for that. I feel like that would be super obvious. So, you know. I feel like they can get fucked. Germany can go fuck themselves again. Hold on a second. Let me come over here. Hello, Mima Flower. Let me go back up a little bit. Hello, Apex. How are you, darling? Yeah, more fucking dudes. That lab, I guess. I mean, honestly, it's all a mess. I'm not sure I like any of them. Although the laughing hyena she really freaks me out. That weird laugh. Like, I've got a weird laugh too, but like, not like that. He's like, y'all think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in a context or something. I'm like, is she on mushrooms? What the fuck was that? Netanyahu's. I would have to go hear it, but the little bits I heard sound like bullshit to me. Because he has no business coming over here and having so much control over our Congress. No foreign leader should. Right, Dr. Shiva or Dr. Stein, absolutely. Oh yeah, I just saw about filling up the seats. Right, exactly. I mean, he. Hello, Mima Flowers. Greetings to all. Puff puff pass. Let's see. ABD. Who is ABD? Oh well, either way. Yes, we are glad to have her here. Can't believe it was half a bag. Let's use the one. I know, right? I guarantee half the people who want a war with Iran have like no actual like stake in this. Like they don't have any kids they're gonna go. They're probably too old to go themselves. You know, it's easy to want a war when you don't have to worry about getting your own hands dirty to do it. A lot of armchair motherfuckers are like, yeah, let's send our boys to do it. Yeah, so we can have a whole new generation of young people coming back in flag draped coffins and PTSD, permanent disabilities, all because some armchair asshole thought it'd be so cool to have a war. Unfucking believable. It seems like the evangelicals, yes, they do. They have it's what I refer to as a fetish for the rapture fetish. They feel like, and it's a very weird one. They get down and they lick Jewish boots. And I know that, all right, Zionists. I should say Zionists because like normal Jewish people are fine, but Zionist boots. They lick the boots. They pander so hard. They pander harder for Israel and for Zionists than they do for their own country and their own patriots. It's gross. And they do it hoping that it's going to bring Jesus, and which means the destruction of the world. Bring Jesus, and any Jewish person who does not kneel and accept Jesus will be thrown into a lake of fire. So it's really weird that they are pandering so hard to Zionists when they secretly know that if their rapture fetish comes true, that those very people that they're kissing the ass of will be thrown into a lake of fire. That's a very weird fucking thing. That's a very weird thing to fetishize, and that's kind of what they're doing. It's very, very fucking weird. Hello, DJ B2. Sorry, I got my letters mixed up. Let's see. Right. Yeah, it is quite frightening. I don't know what the ABD. That's throwing me off. Oh, a beautiful day. Oh, okay. Okay, now I got it. Sorry, I just look at Miss Frosty. I didn't look at the rest of the name, so my brain wasn't getting her cackle. Freaks. It is so fake and disingenuous. It is. Oh, I feel dumb. Okay, I got it now. Right on. Sometimes it takes me a minute to figure stuff out. I'm not the sharpest tool. I'm sorry. Anywho, my grandson is in the Navy. I have no idea how he's doing. I hope he's doing okay. I hope he's safe. I do. The rapture fetish. It's the only way I can describe it. It's the only way I can describe this. Because the end of the world and people being thrown into lakes of fire and all this is a terrible thought. Like, you really shouldn't look forward to that. Like, even if you're on the right side and you're like, yes, Jesus is coming back and I believe in him and all this, and you're right. Okay. But being excited about something that's going to bring about the end of God's creation and throw people into a lake of fire is a horrible thing to be excited about and to fetishize about. That's horrible. I mean, you're supposed to feel sorry for them, but not be excited about it. That's just creepy. Possibly. Usually it takes me a lot longer to get through the headlines if I have more than just me up here. I do not know. Hold on a second. Yeah, they actually think Jesus is breaking through the clouds, I don't know if he is or not, but if he is, if he really does care about God's creation and every person matters to Jesus, I really don't think the evangelicals are going to be his favorite fucking people right now, because they were so excited about all these brown people getting killed in Jesus' homeland. Jesus wasn't down with that. I mean, even when his homies were trying to protect him from the Roman guards, he was like, no, put your swords away. He didn't even let his boys fuck those guys up, you know? So why would he think this is great? He's not going to be like, you didn't love your neighbor. You were excited about them being murdered. Like, I don't think it's going to go the way they think. Hello, Digital Pollution. How are you, darling? Oh, my goodness. Hello, Dad Man. How are you? I'm glad y'all are here. Feel bad I didn't check the comments sooner. They would not. They might not. Because, I mean, yeah. Bible was written as a mythology read that way until the 19th century entered the evangelicals. I feel like there was a lot done because Henry VIII wanted some shit done and changed because he wanted to be able to divorce and he wanted to be a hoe. So you end up having some division there. And then they were really, they were really uptight. The system was really uptight about translating the Bible where regular people could read it. And God only knows what happened there. And then with the King James Version, the change happened in 1600s, whatever the fuck that was. And they changed some things in there because I guess there was, one of the things that they talked about was a part of the Bible where basically you shouldn't suffer like tyrants and you should rebel against tyrants. And they didn't really want you to like get any ideas about rebelling against your oppressors. So they changed that and probably a few other things. And then, I mean, if you look at Bibles from like 150, 200 years ago, they were a bit thicker than your Walmart brand fucking Bibles now. Your thin, yeah. They've changed a lot of stuff. So, yeah. I will ascend from heaven and bring me spirit. Hey, that sounds pretty yummy. The Iran stuff I think is crap. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't like Iran. I think Iran is a bunch of assholes. So, like, I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea that I'm just like, but yeah, Iran is absolutely top notch on their fucking human rights violations, and they are assholes. So I'm not saying they're not, but it's the boogeyman right now. Hamas was the boogeyman for a while, and it still kind of is. And then they're like, ooh, let's add some Hezbollah to really make it scary. And then they're like, oh, a war with Iran. That's wild because the first few months of this is like, we're defending ourselves, even though they were absolutely just, laying waste and carpet bombing everything. But whatever, they're like, we're defending ourselves against Hamas. And now we're going to go to the border and defend ourselves against Lebanon. And we're going to go over here and start some shit with Iran to defend ourselves. I mean, really, I don't even think they're calling it defending themselves anymore. I don't think they've actually said they were defending themselves for like the last 3 or 4 months. I think they realized how silly that is, and they don't even bother. They're like, yeah, we're not even going to lie about it anymore. All right. Let's see. Patriot rescues fragment of Old Glory as pro-Hamas agitators burnt. See, now these, I believe, are the fake protesters. Because people were arguing whether or not George Soros had some protesters doing some shit. Because of the whole time, since October, the majority, 99% of the protesting that was going on that was pro-Palestinian was no graffiti, no violence, no outrageous shit. Now that the elections are getting closer, now we're seeing agitators and what I call agent provocateurs causing trouble. Yeah, all the protests that have been going on at a lot of the colleges and on the streets didn't have vandalism. They didn't have this rash of protests that are going on that are vandalizing the Liberty Bell. That is not the original protesters. These are some Soros-backed assholes starting some shit and trying to get people agitated to make them be mad at the pro-Palestinian movement so that we're more likely to vote in a way that will help Israel interests. Because, yeah, I've been watching the protests closely since October, and they had not acted like this. There had been a little bit of flag burning, a little here and there, but that's protected under the First Amendment, whether people like it or not. But destroying the Liberty Bell and all that, now that is something they know that no sensible protester that's pro-Palestinian is going to think, oh, this is going to really win people on our side. Yeah, no. But I feel like those are the George Soros assholes that we've been waiting for. We knew they were coming. They always do. But since it's close to elections, they want to encourage anything pro-Israel to win. And vandalizing historical landmarks like the Liberty Bell is going to help encourage people to not vote for anything that has to do with Palestine because they're like, well, fuck what they just did, so I'm going to vote different. See what I'm saying? That's why. They wouldn't protest against their own interests if they were legitimate. An unnamed patriot reached into a smoldering heap Wednesday to rescue an American flag from burning at the hands of pro-Hamas agitators. Well, they're agitators. I don't know if they're really pro-Hamas, but they're agitators. The man who wanted to remain anonymous was able to successfully save a fragment of Old Glory. He told the local journalist who recorded the incident that he is an attorney who works near Union Station in Washington, D.C., where the anti-Israel demonstration happened. In the video taken by Richie McGinnis, shared via Twitter, the man stoops down into the flames and takes a fragment of the burning flag with his bare hands. Yikes. I bet that made for a really good picture opportunity. An angry mob rushes the unarmed man carrying the burning flag, shouting, "Get him." Yeah, that's not the normal protesters that have been going on since October. They've all been quiet. They had the little drum circles, very hippie-ish. Like, they weren't acting aggressive like this. This is the kind of people you saw, the like Soros-backed people with the other protests in 2020 and 2021. These are those same thought people right here. They're doing this. And yes, I am denouncing any kind of vandalism on old, like, historical landmarks, historical artifacts, and chasing down people who are trying to save a flag. Yes, I speak against that, just so everybody's clear where I stand. In the chase, pro-Hamas agitators can be seen tripping over a skateboard. Okay. An anonymous patriot barely escapes through the crowd. That sounds a little bit like a setup. Like, if someone did, like, okay. That sounds like some silliness, but whatever. In a later video, McGinnis shares the unnamed man said, "I grabbed what I could out of the fire and I ran. I'm ashamed I didn't stop and go back and get the rest of it." Oh. Thank you, whoever you are. That was brave and honorable behavior on display. Agitators also burned an effigy of Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, as well as an Israeli flag. Well, yeah, I mean, again, protected under the First Amendment there. I just have issues with, like, like them fucking up the Liberty Bell. That's pretty old. I don't like historical landmarks and historical artifacts being damaged and vandalized. I'm very against that. But making up your little effigy of someone you don't like and setting it on fire, that's fair enough. I mean, people have done that for hundreds of years. And apparently they are trying to scare people with more listeria outbreaks. They tell us we're supposed to eat healthy, and look how much trouble we would have if the FDA wasn't working and doing its thing. Apparently it's not. So here is your fear porn for the food department. So, cucumbers recall for listeria. Listeria risk grows for other veggies in more states. Lovely. Oh, listeria outbreak across 12 states linked to deli meats. Oh my goodness, a botulism outbreak over improperly stored mayonnaise kills one person and sickens 75. See, like, it's no matter what you eat, mayonnaise, meat, veggies. They just want you to eat crickets. That's what it fucking has come down to. They're trying to contaminate and scare you from eating food, but they tell you they don't want you to eat processed food because it's bad for you. Eventually, they're going to try to just, like, corral us into crickets eating, you know? It's fucked. It is. So, watch out for your food. Make sure you cook all your food properly. All right. Parents' Choice nonprofit create Bible opt-out form for parents. Why and Walter Yep. This is hilarious. All right. So, the Parents' Choice, I do believe, if I remember correctly, that they were helping people like not have to get vaccines if they didn't want to, not have it forced on them, which I agree. I agree about not forcing shit on people, especially medical stuff. Well, this is not. I did not expect this from them. I'm actually kind of excited because apparently they really are for parental choice across the board, and I love their consistency for this. But it's saying that some Oklahoma parents say they want to opt their child out of any Bible-related teachings. A nonprofit called Defense of Democracy created a Bible opt-out form that parents can fill out and send to their child's school. It says, sorry, we couldn't load the embedded content. A parent's choice has always been a thing in public education. Regional director and parent Erica Watkins, this form is kind of solidarity, solidify that, and show that the parents that they don't want their child to be involved in any Bible-based curriculum. Superintendent Ryan Walters, it's unfortunate that parents have been lied to by these radical left-wing individuals. That's his thing. That is literally his verbatim response to anything that disagrees with him. That they are radical left-wing individuals. No, sometimes people just think you went too far, my guy. That's all. Because teaching from the Bible, from a historical point, and using it like in reference, like with the curriculum, is legal. It has already been legal in Oklahoma. It has been legal for as long as I've known it to be legal in Oklahoma. So you didn't have to pass anything to make it legal. But you would have to change something if you're basically trying to turn it into a Bible study, which you have churches, at-home Bible studies, religious schools. You have those if that's what you want to do. Look, it's history. You're going to opt out of history? Are you going to opt out of math? Are you going to opt out of science next? I mean, here's the reality. The Bible is the most cited book in the 17th and 18th century from writers in America. Well, probably not just America. But, all right, first off, he's saying, oh, are you going to opt out of history? Are you going to opt out of math? Are you going to opt out of science? Actually, there are situations where one does opt out of science. There are, in some schools, there is a thing, like if you're going to dissect frogs or dissect animals for biology class, you can get a form and opt out of doing that. So, yes. And yeah, so there are situations where people can opt out of certain teachings at school. So he's being ridiculous and he's trying to be melodramatic, but he's being melodramatic, but he's not being very good at it, I guess. As a Jinx school parent, Watkins doubled down on her stance against Walter's directive. I want my school to know that there are parents in favor of letting the school do what they know is best by the professionals and educational groups that have developed this curriculum. We can't just have somebody come in and say we need a Bible in every classroom to fix the very real issues that are going on in public education. I agree. I absolutely agree. And God, Ryan Walters drives me fucking nuts. Walters responds to that statement saying the Oklahoma Department of Education has been taking on how the teachers' unions are destroying education from day one. Yeah, he has referred to teachers' unions as being evil, radical left-wing shit. Basically referring to them as Bible monsters that must be stopped. He really hates teachers' unions. It's very weird. because he used to be a teacher, so it's kind of wild. We have more parental rights than any other state, Walters said. Well, good. All right. So he's talking about we have more parental rights than any other state, but now he's upset that a parental choice group wants to give parents the right to opt out of a class. So he's upset about them having the right to do that, but he's at the same time bragging, hey, we have more parental rights than any other state. Well, fuck, buddy. I mean, either like that we have rights or you don't. We brought in teacher pay based on performance. I get that. We have record signing bonuses. They've had a record amount of teachers leaving too, by the way. And in fact, they had such a teacher shortage, in fact, that they were, for a while, I don't know if they still are, but they were hiring teachers that don't even have their certification yet. They gave anybody who wanted to teach, they'd be willing to let them as long as they were trying and help them get their teaching certificate while they taught, which I mean isn't a bad idea, but let's not act like there wasn't that going on. All right. But let's see. And we've been driving up the scores through our tutoring program, which I think we're still 48th or 47th in education, I believe. So I don't know. I guess he doesn't care about facts or whatever. Very proud of the work we're doing. Frankly, we're setting a blueprint for every state to follow on how to get education back on track. We are happy to take this state away from the path that the teachers' unions had it on, a Marxist dumpster fire, and putting it on the right track to be a leader in this country. I don't think that Bible teachings in class has been the problem. I understand if you're worried that you have Marxist teachers, but again, he thinks anybody is a Marxist who does not agree with him. I feel like that's very bold of him. I am not a Marxist, but I do not think that Bible education should be a necessity in school. And I mean, you can have y'all can have create a little club at school if you want to do like a Bible studies group or as an elective. I'm not opposed to that, but having a Bible taught in every classroom, oh fuck. Nonprofit co-chair, Payne County and Stillwater Public School parent Sarah Lynn Boren says that her district has the Bible in the classroom. She will fill out the template. You don't know what's going to be taught. When your kids go to church, they're being taught by someone who is an expert in that religion. So you know that they're going to be taught well. Whereas if you're just having a random teacher doing that, you have no idea what the teacher's background is. There is no telling what kind of lesson they're going to get from the Bible if you have a random teacher teaching it. That's what I've been saying. This is really not something that's in the area of expertise. And we should let the teachers take the teaching of things that our kids need to be taught. And I agree. As someone who's teaching Bible study and being in church, that's different, obviously. But, your average, I don't know, your math teacher is used to teaching math. I don't see why they would have a Bible in the math class necessarily. I don't see what they would learn from that. Unless you're learning exchange rate of shekels or something. I don't fucking know. But yeah, I agree with her. You don't know what lessons. There are a lot of fucked up things in the Bible. Okay, there is incest, rape, murder, all kinds of. There's throwing babies on, dashing them on rocks. There's a lot of fucked up shit in the Bible. So let's pretend that one of these quote unquote Marxist leftist teachers that Ryan Walters is bitching about gets her hands on one of those Bibles and starts teaching the part about, I don't know what part of the Bible it's in, but there is something where a bunch of dudes came up to this guy's house and he's like, yo, let us have your daughter. And he's like, no, guy, I don't think so. But here, you can have my housemaid, and tossed her out on the porch to get fucking raped to death by all the crazy dudes out there. And then after it was said and done, the man in the house cut the servant up in a whole bunch of pieces and nailed her to the four corners of the earth or some fucking shit, which is fucking weird. I don't see how that's going to help anybody with math class. I guess you could try to figure out how many pieces he could have cut her into. I don't know. But, that's definitely not a Bible lesson I really think is going to be useful in school. So yeah, you got a leftist Marxist teacher, as again Ryan Walters is so fucking worried about, and they start breaking down the Ten Commandments, and it says, "Thou shalt worship no other gods before me." She could argue, this teacher could argue that that is technically saying that there is an existence of other gods. That's acknowledging their existence. I'm pretty sure the evangelicals will not be happy that she taught that. So I feel like this is going to bite Ryan Walters and a lot of the evangelicals right in the ass, because they like the idea of this so much. And even though they've been getting trolled by the Church of Satan, which is, I mean, I think they're a bunch of weirdos, but the fact that the evangelicals have fucked up so hard, they're getting trolled by these guys, is fucking hilarious. And they even said, thank you to Governor Stitt and Ryan Walters, the freedom of religion champions. They were, and that was posted by the Church of Satan. I was like, oh my God. And the Church of Satan also says they are willing to volunteer chaplains of sorts to the public schools to help teach, since freedom of religion is practically mandatory now. And everybody tried to warn Governor Stitt and Ryan Walters that this was going to happen, and they did not fucking listen. All right, let me back up. Let me go up here. All right. Ah, yes, the ribs. Yes. There we go. Where can we chat if you want? I'm on Biden time. You're on Biden time? So. Let's see. My mouse is not working for some reason. Come on, fucker. All right, there we go. America's food guidelines have been a joke for a long time. Like the little food pyramid we were told about as children. It's a fucking lie. We should not have that much fucking bread. We really shouldn't. No sound on YouTube. What? Let me go look real quick. No, I have sound. I don't know why you said I don't. I do. Anyway, also, I don't know how accurate it is, but apparently there is some talk on whether or not the vice president may or may not continue to campaign. I don't know what that was about for sure. Let's see. Oh, more listeria outbreaks. Ugh. I think we've covered everything for right now. Well, let's see. I managed to get through this in 47 minutes. All right. Almost a record. Anyway, I'm going to hop off because I believe Ranker Steve is live streaming somewhere. Might be on YouTube, might be on Rumble, might be on both. But I figured I'd go and visit and say hi. So if y'all want to go do that, let me check. What is your? Someone's asked me what my Telegram is, bruh. I don't have one. I don't think. Hugs and hugs to everybody. Digital Pollution and DJ B2. My mouse is not working. Of course, Snotopus Bear, Mima, and Miss Frosty and Dad Man. Digital Pollution, Miss Frosty, Apex Comics. I'm trying to get my mouse work. And of course, Daniel. Mwah. Y'all are lovely. It was great having you. And I shall see y'all later. Ooh, let me get my little outro going.
Welcome to the ship show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuckery. 'Cause everybody's such, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of clots. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, hey, what the fuck? And then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, boulder, dash, poppycock, bollocks, and